Hey guys, welcome to episode number 41 of OG Toys Emoji. Today we're continuing our look at Marvel's The Avengers Series 2. We're taking a look at Shock Strike Thor. Wow. This figure was definitely one of the figures that I was looking forward to. I didn't like the Thor that came out in the Series 1. It just looked really bad compared to the previous Thor that we got from his movie line. And this Thor totally makes up for it. Now, of course, the other movie Thor is right there, the helmeted version. I love that one. But let's take a closer look at Series 2 Thor. The first thing that really stood out for me was the head sculpt. This totally looks like Chris Hemsworth. Fantastic job. Wow. It's one of the best head sculpts I've seen, especially from Hasbro. You know, $10.99 figure, they're not going to have the absolute best head sculpts or sculpts to begin with. But, man, they just nailed it. I love it. It's perfect. Fantastic job. And if you take a look at the armor that he has, you know, he's detailed quite nicely. He's got the silver accents. He's got the chainmail on his shoulders. Would have loved to have seen that in a really sharper silver like the packaging has. That's almost a shiny gloss silver. Here we got a dull muted silver. Could have liked some better paint apps there. I can probably just do it myself and just give him some better highlights there with a silver paint marker. Not a huge deal, but I shouldn't have to really paint up my own figures to make it look like the ones that are on the packaging. But that sucks. Anyways, the figure himself, very well done in this terms of a sculpt. His hammer, pretty much a standard hammer. We've seen pretty much the exact same version throughout all of his other Thor incarnations. But it does have some nice little details. Like, it looks weathered. It looks like it's gone through some wars, some battles. You know, it's nicely done. I'll just take that out of his hand. And let's take a look at his articulation. Ball jointed head. Again, this is standard Hasbro. Limited range of movement on the head. Does have really good ball jointed shoulders. Nothing's hindering the articulation. Like the Loki figure had a bit of hindrance with the shoulder pads that came out. So again, ball jointed shoulders. He's got the ball joint and swivel in the elbow. Nothing in the wrist. Nothing in the chest. Nothing in the waist. He does have ball jointed legs. Again, really nicely done too. And he's got the ball joint, or excuse me, not ball joint, but he actually has double knee articulation instead of that ball joint swivel. And nothing in the wrist, or excuse me, the ankle. But I thought that was weird that they give him double jointed knees instead of the ball swivel. But that's okay, not a huge deal. I mean, this is a great looking figure. Definitely one of my favorite Thors. Man, it's a fantastic job. Now he does come with his little gimmick accessory. This is like a huge version of his hammer. It's just powered up and striking out. It attaches to his wrist via this little joint here, which we saw in the Captain America shields. It does have that little pin to go into his back. It doesn't in this figure. And the clip for the wrist. And it just shoots out this massive hammer. And there you go. Pretty powerful spring too. This thing has some force to it. So there you go. Never going to use it. Put it aside. And again, I want to show you the comparison. We did that with the Loki. This figure just came out. Well, not just came out. It came out with the Thor movie lineup. One of the last figures I got this at a superstore. It's a grocery store out here in Canada. Got them for $3. And I was just shocked. $3. And man, this figure is awesome. It's got wicked helmet. Now, he wore this helmet for, what, 30 seconds in the movie? In the first Thor movie? You know, it's at first I'm like, oh, why isn't he wearing the helmet all the time? He has to wear the helmet. It's like in the comic book. But you know what? He doesn't look bad without the helmet now. It's kind of grown on me. But I do love the way this helmet looks on the figure. Very cool as Guardian look. The hammer, you know, it's almost identical to the other hammer. Let's just do a comparison shot. Ooh, look at that. A little bit bigger hammer. The actual circumference of the hammer looks a little bit larger, just by a smidge. Virtually identical handle. This one's kind of bent, but a little upgrade on the hammer, not too bad. But the figure itself, Again, articulation, man, this thing just kicks butt on articulation compared to the other figure. So you start here, he's got ball jointed head. He's got a pretty decent range of movement. Look at that. Ball jointed shoulder, ball joint and swivel in the elbow, and look at that wrist articulation again. He's got a ball joint in the chest. He's got the legs. Ugh, I hate these legs. These are the ones you kind of got to line up the little pivot to get the figure to move up and down. But he does have ball joint leg and double in the knee, double jointed, and he does have the ball joint in the ankle as well. Really nice cape. The helmet, love it. Paint job, awesome. Man, what a way better figure. I can't believe again how much Hasbro just let, you know, a lot of the fans down, and a lot of people, I can see why they complain so much about the figures. Huge difference between the two. Big height difference as well. Look at the size difference between these two guys. This is like, look at that, massive. This is like Thor's little brother or something. But again, you know, great sculpt, great face. It's just awesome. Could definitely use some better paint apps. Paint apps on this guy are phenomenal. Has a black wash over the mesh on the armor. The chest armor looks really nicely detailed and has a black paint job, black wash on it. It's just a shame to see the lack of paint apps, lack of articulation in these newer figures. Ugh, you know, they kind of dropped the ball, just like the Iron Man figure from the Avengers line. That guy right there. Compared to the new one, or excuse me, the older versions of Iron Man and Iron Man 2, it's just the lack of articulation. I didn't even bother buying it because I have some better Iron Mans from Iron Man 2. So when that figure does go on sale, maybe I'll pick it up, because I kind of like that shield look. It's kind of cool, but not in a huge hurry to pick it up, and I don't know if I'm going to bother even. But the Thor figure, if you don't have this one, or you don't have availability to any of these older Thor figures, you definitely pick up this figure. I really like the sculpt. He's got a great big build to him as well. You know, he's a little taller, he's more massive. But man, better articulation would have been definitely required, and some better paint apps too. So, if you need a new Thor figure, you want a really good head sculpt, pick this figure up. If you don't need another Thor in your collection, and you already got stuff from the movie line, pass on this guy. Alright? Save your money for something better that's going to come along. If you see him on sale, maybe pick him up for sure. If he's half price or something like that, definitely. But you're going to pay full pop for him. Wait until these guys go on sale. I don't want you guys to be disappointed in a figure that has a couple good qualities, but on the most, it's not as good as it should have been. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. We're going to do Captain America next. And I'm going to throw in one other figure that I picked up from Series 1, which is a definite standout and one of my personal favorites. Stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys.